Hey everyone, it's Wingspan TT, the fourth best commentator on YouTube. And I got two games I really want to show you today. These games are really cool. And I don't know why I kept this hand. I guess because I'm going first, I got Mana Tithe and that Knight, which is probably one of the best Bushido guys in the game. Anyone remember that game Bushido Blade from the early PlayStation days? Of course you don't. You're probably all 12. Bushido Blade was this fighting game where you played a samurai in ancient Japan, and it was super realistic where you had your katana, you went at the other guy, and it was like the damage was real. You hit them once with the sword, that was it. They were dead. I don't know why I'm talking about this game. It was awesome. That's why. So, Mana Tithe, I'm not super keen on this card, but at the time I was playing this match, I did have it in my deck. Now I'm kind of iffy about it. I got Oathkeeper, Takeno's Daisho in here, and whenever you have the Daisho card in your hand, you basically top deck exactly what you need. This is what I've learned from life. So there you go. I got my Ronin War Club, I got Balefire Leech, I got a bunch of great cards. I'm going to hit my third land drop, and Aven Squire coming in 1/1 Exalted. Cannot stand up to my guy who becomes a 3/3 in combat. And I got a pretty good setup here. I got the ability to, I got the ability to attack. I got my Devoted Retainer guy who makes sure that he keeps my teeth straight. And here, there's a couple plays. I could drop the Daisho, I could drop the War Club. He's playing the guy who's free to cast as long as you control forests and plains and there's a creature attacking. Nope. I could have let it go. He probably wasn't going to block unless... I mean, it's possible that he was dumb and he didn't realize that the Bushido would have made my guy 3/3, but I don't really want him to get a free creature on the board. I'm just going to assume my opponent is not stupid enough to do that, and I really just don't need him accelerating to have a 2/3 reach creature on turn 2 for free. So it's a really good creature. That should be in your deck if you're playing the Bant deck. Hall of Champions, I believe it's actually called. And I decided to drop another creature because I didn't have a choice, because I had to use Mana Tithe. So there you go, Mana Tithe countering. It's a one mana cost spell, countering 0 mana cost spells all day long. Aquarium Trees. Takeno's Daisho. Just pointing out there. Hey Daisho, what's up? What's up, man? I want to challenge Daisho to some kind of YouTube challenge. I just don't know what to do. Like, what can I do to make it a worthy challenge for Daisho? Should we play like a first to 10 matches? Should we play something like each of us has to play? We play 5 games against one another, and we have to play 5 different decks each. Okay? You can't play the same deck more than once, and whoever wins the most matches out of 5 games wins something. Becomes the third best commentator on YouTube. I don't know. That'd be cool. So Daisho, if you're watching this, dude, and you're like, hey, yeah, I want to be the third best commentator on YouTube, let me know, because I think we should have it out, and we will kick out the current third best commentator on YouTube. And whoever comes in second in our prize could still be fourth best. Like, I'm cool with saying fourth best, but Daisho, if you want to move up from fifth best to fourth best, that's totally fine. I can totally respect that. My Hound of Konda there, hanging out Balefire Leech like a boss. Isamaru, one of the best 1-drops ever printed. Just gonna have some whiskey. By the way, kids, if you really are young, like, don't fucking drink. Drinking's not good for you. It's poison. You're putting poison in your body. That's exactly what it does. It doesn't do anything for you. I mean, I guess it makes you relax, but really, at the end of the day, aren't you just relaxed enough? Maybe being uptight would be good for you. Maybe you get better grades if you're kind of an uptight son of a bitch. I'm waiting for the Bant charm on my retainer, but it's not coming. And I specifically chose to put the Daisho on the retainer because I was fearing Bant charm. Because nobody wants to use Bant charm on a stupid 1/1 Bushido. It just does not have me cycling that to go get some basic land. Gleam of Resistance. I don't actually like that card, but I understand it's a mana fixer, so fine. And it has uses late game. And the Terramorphic. So he's getting all kinds of land. He is getting all kinds of land. Which is bad. Now he's down to 9, I'm at 14, but of course that could swing along, especially once he hits 2 white. He can drop either of the angels in his deck, which is brutal. Balefire Leech is a great card, but I need 5 mana to cast it, which may or may not be happening. A key provision of the Daisho, by the way, is that if your samurai die, it brings them back to life. That's why it's called Daisho. If they die, you show it to your opponent, they come back in the field. That's actually the Japanese translation. Don't tell anyone who speaks Japanese I said that out loud. Please don't tell them that. Isamaru, Hound of Konda, being a fucking boss. I love how he has absolutely no abilities. He just got like a mouthful of flavor text. He's just barking into the card like, I am so flavorful. And Mage of Crimson, no, his name is Aquarium Trees. Mage of Crimson is his title. I went with Spellslinger. I feel like that's the easy thing to go for. But I like them all. I really like them all. Pariah coming down on my Hand of Justice or whatever the hell it's called. And his unblockable dude, which I'm not particularly afraid of at this point in the match. I'm at 11 life. Sure, it could swing at me for like 4, but I feel like I have control of the match, especially with Balefire Liege in my hand. And here is a potential misplay. So I'm not sure. I could go either way on this. What I decide to do is I'm going to use the equipment on the dice show to put it on this samurai. Okay? So when I put it on this samurai, what this means is when the samurai dies, first of all, it's going to become huge, but when it dies, it's going to come back into play. So my thought here was, alright, I'm going to play this thing. Doesn't really matter what mana I use, okay? Then, because that's Pariah, it's going to die when it swings. But first, I'm going to play Ronin War Club, so that the next thing that comes into play gets Ronin War Club for free, which of course is going to be my Hand of Justice. Of course, he could block it, he could chump block it, take the 5 damage. That's really not going to help him. So he's going to take 5, and no, he's not going to take anything, I'm sorry, because of Pariah. This thing comes back into play, it's totally fine, Daisho saved his life, and it becomes a 4-3. Now, if I had played the Balefire Liege this turn, I feel like I would have better plays coming up. Like, I would have the same options this turn. Like, I could have just not attacked. And having the Balefire Liege in play is just absolutely brutal. It's basically, you get free lightning bolts and healing salves all day long. You play red spells, you get lightning bolts only to the opponent's face. You play white spells, you get healing salves. This would have been 5 free life off the top of my deck right here. And I don't know what I was thinking. At this point, I was just basically thinking I need to do huge amounts of damage to him. And I realized I'm at 6 life now. He's got an unblockable guy with 1, 2, 3 sources of Exalted, which basically means that he can swing at me for 6 next turn if he gets any kind of Exalted or anything like that off the top of the deck. So I was pretty much afraid of that, and I wanted to kind of do a lot of damage. But that was probably the wrong response. That was the wrong response because the reality is he can survive regardless. So if he gets it, he's going to kill me either way. He's not dumb enough to just take the damage unless it's, going to actually endanger him. If I had played the Balefire Liege 2 turns ago, I could have done the cool swing now with the die show and gotten extra life. Or I could have not played the Ronin War Club. I could have played the Moth Rider instead and gained 3 life. And the Balefire Liege, sorry about that. That was my printer making weird noises. Would have been up there. So he decides to lose his Exalted guy, which I don't really understand. Now I'm going to play the Moth Rider. It's going to gain the Ronin War Club. Now it's flying. So he doesn't have lethal this turn. So I was like, alright. Now he no longer has lethal, assuming he doesn't play something really powerful. Like, if he plays something powerful, I'm doomed. He plays a land. I'm like, alright, he top decked the land. Great. No big deal. I'm going to be fine. Going to be totally fine. He's got the Infiltrator. He's got the Avon Squire. Sorry about that. He's going to swing in for 4, I believe. 4 unblockable, putting me down to 2. And at this point, I'm like, I really need to get a Lightning Bolt. Like, Lightning Bolt would be great right now. I would win the game with a Lightning Bolt. Lightning Heal. And he gets Phantom Nishoba. 7/7 trample that has lifelink and it's invincible. 7/7 trample, invincible. And again, if I had the Balefire Liege out already, I would have gained 3 life. I would have gained 3 more life off of Masako here. So I would have been at 9 life, which I guess wouldn't be enough to survive, but it's possible he would have played differently. So I don't know if I messed it up or not. It's very possible I messed it up. My guys would have been bigger. They would have done more damage because Balefire Liege would have been on the table. But Phantom Nishoba. So next turn, he's going to gain at least like 7 life. And it's got trample and all kinds of stuff. I know I'm doomed. Like, I really needed to top deck removal. If I had top decked removal, I could have got past the Avon Squire and won. But I didn't, so I didn't win. So there you go. That's it. Very cool match, though, against Aquarium Trees, which is what I want to share with you. And we'll be going into match 2 right after he stomps me in the face. And I like to tell people they got it because I don't want people like sit there and play out these like super long turns where they're basically just like masturbating with their cards. Like they're just like, yeah, let me see. Oh, yeah, I can swing for the most. Oh, I can swing for the most. And I also don't understand why he just swings with this thing. I mean, maybe it's because I told him he got it. But if I had Lightning Helix, I could have stopped it. which he doesn't know. So I would have swung within the show also, and I think that's a problem people have. With Exalted decks in general, they feel like they have to use Exalted. You don't have to use Exalted. You are totally free to just do normal swings with multiple creatures. And now we go into Game 2. Game Dose. I'm going to have some more bourbon. What I was saying before about alcohol, stay away from alcohol, not entirely true. Here's the thing. Everything in moderation, right? Like, if you find yourself waking up regularly with your car wrapped around a tree and your blood and your brains all over the ground, you're probably drinking too much alcohol. I don't even like to say everything in moderation. Like, the reality is, you just got to keep in mind that your judgment is impaired when you're drinking. So, you just got to keep that in mind. Can't think you're Superman. Can't try to pull off cool stuff. You are not cool. You probably look like a blathering idiot. You may be having a lot of fun as a blathering idiot. And here comes Nissa's Chosen. 2/3. Goes to the bottom of his library when it dies. And I'm like, no, we can't have any of that. That is going to get a Lightning Helix to the face. Lightning Helix to the face. That's a really good 2-drop, by the way. 2/3 Elf. This is a 2/2. It is not going to stand up test of time. And I decided to use Lightning Helix here instead of Intimidation Bolt, because Intimidation Bolt may be more useful later on when he's got an army of elves. That way I can, like, stop his attack. I love Intimidation Bolt. It's so flavorful. Like, it's just like, BAM! That bitch got hit by lightning, and all the other creatures are so afraid of lightning, they're like, I'm not attacking. I'm not doing anything this turn. They need Ted from the movie Ted to just show up and sing the Thunder Lightning song with them. Here comes Rancor. And now it's 4/3 Trample for 3 mana. Not bad. Unfortunately, still dies to Lightning Helix. And I hate to be that guy that just says dies to removal, but this dies to removal. This is about to die to removal. Lightning Helix, one of the best removal spells of all time. Lightning Bolt plus Healing Salve in one card. Amazing. Sure, he gets Rancor back, but I'm going to be sitting on his Mana Tithe, which I feel is going to be useful in this match because he's just playing along the curve right now. Counter target spell unless this control pays 1. And I love all the time spiral block cards. I love these color shifted, time shifted cards. Like the idea that white is the color of taxing. It was originally the color of taxing. Therefore, it is taxing your spells and it's countering them. It's not hard counter. It's just enough of counter be like, listen, we're the government. We take things. Here's some Obamacare for you. Bam. Right in the face. And I'm not starting a political argument. I do not give a shit about Obamacare. Please do not put a comment about it. I will stab myself in the eye with a fork. And he's going to try to cycle this thing, or he's playing it. He's playing it as a spell, so I'm going to counter. He does not need another elf on the board. Gem Palm. I hate Gem Palm and everything. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hated it when it was in Goblins in the previous Duels of Planeswalkers. And I still hate it now. So I don't have any real purpose. God, I love Fumiko. To use any removal on a 1/1 guy that gains him some life every turn. We'll see if that changes. But I still have Intimidation Bolt. I can change my mind. Fumiko, the low blood, she was not born to noble status. But what she was born to was to ignoble status. She is so hot and so angry, all your opponent's creatures are like rushing over to your side of the battlefield every turn they can. They're like, whoa, guys, get out of the way. Fumiko is all mine. And she's just like rolling over there. And at this point, I probably should have just used Intimidation Bolt on his guy, but I kind of wanted to see if he would trade Immaculate Magistrate for one of my creatures. Like, I got a 2/2 and a 1/1 with Bushido, so I'm like, let's just see what happens. I draw into the Jite. I probably should just use Intimidation Bolt. Like, I already knew what I was going to do last turn, but I decided not to do it. And I wonder if at this point he's like going to get pissed that I just basically use Lightning Bolts on like 3 of his creatures in a row, because I would be pissed. I would be pissed if I were Aquarian Trees. And when I say I wonder, it's like I already know what happens because I played this game yesterday. But I'm going to wonder in the proverbial figurative sense for everyone watching at home. And he chooses not to block. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool you chose not to block. I would like to reward your sage decision with fucking white and red death from the clouds down on your creature, like smiting you like a god of war and judgment. Like, you've got pointy ears. I don't like pointy ears. Therefore, your ears, again, burnt the fuck off. Go with Spock. Live long and prosper, except die. He misses the trigger and stack. He's only going to gain 1 life instead of 2. And at this point, Aquarium Trees realizes that he has failed as a Magic player and a human being, and so he quits the game. So he failed every test there is to fail. Now I'm fighting Nissa, who's only got one card in hand, and plays Jiraga Warcaller. And Nissa loses the fucking... She misses it too. Like, why would you do that now, Nissa? You could have an untapped 3/3 that would scare off my guys. Plus, not only that, you could have gained an extra 1 life. So, really, Nissa should have been a 10 life by now and had an untapped 5/3 creature. But she is an idiot. And she also put Rancor on the creature that needs to stay untapped to use its ability. So, I don't understand any of the decisions there. It really could have been a lot better scenario. So, I'm going to swing with my 1/1, see what he does. Possibly use Call to Glory. Hallelujah. Now he thinks it's just going to become a 2/2. But really it's Call to Glory time. Becomes a 3/3, untaps it. Yeah, I'll trade my Jiraga Warcaller. I'm sorry, my stupid 1/1 creature for your Jiraga Warcaller. Blah, I can't talk today. If you haven't heard already from my previous video, by the way, and you play Magic the Gathering 2014 Duels of Planeswalkers on Xbox Live, you should be signing up for the Top Tier Tactics October tournament. That's right, we're having a tournament to find out who the best player on Xbox Live is. You have to pick one deck. You got to bring that deck to the tournament. You can't change decks. You can be a boss. You can show up. Tons of players. Last time we had a PC tournament, we had 128 people in the tournament. It was awesome. We're giving out prizes. We got Xbox points going out as prizes. We got, what else are we giving out? We're giving out, oh, that's right. I'm giving out an exclusive bunch of t-shirts I picked up at E3. And I know E3's been a while ago, but that doesn't mean that t-shirts are any less cool. Most of the games that I have them for didn't even come out yet. And you know what's funny is you go to E3. I say you go to E3 as if this is like the most common occurrence on Earth. I hate how this works like this. You go to E3, you get like so hyped for all these games. You're like, yeah, Bayonetta 2. Yeah, Sonic Lost World. Yeah, Watch Dogs. Yeah, Forza Motorsport 10. And you get hyped for these games because you play them all week. And then you like realize that these games don't exist. Like, you get home, you go back to your like slum in New Jersey, and you say to yourself like, yeah, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go buy Bayonetta 2. Yeah. And then you're like, wait a second. There is no Bayonetta 2. I can't buy it or play it. It doesn't exist yet. By the way, Bayonetta 2 is very good at E3. Drive Club was meh. Forza was good. The new Xbox One controller was good. But I don't really like the graphics in Forza, which I know is just piddling. But come on, it's next gen. And Nessa, what are you doing playing in the land you just topped at? I didn't know it was a land until you played it like a dumbass. And I win this turn because Jite. Because Umezawa's Jite is overpowered. So everyone on Wingspan TET from TopTierTactics.com, I am the 4th best commentator on YouTube unless Daisho says otherwise. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you'll send it to your friends and your enemies. I'd like to thank everyone at home for watching. I hope you'll come to TopTierTactics.com, and I hope to see you all next time. Cheers!